Hello and welcome back to Marion Crochets. In this tutorial we are going to learn how to make this millstone stitch. One thing I love about this stitch is how beautiful it is and the fact that you can make different projects out of it. You can make cardigans, sweaters, scarves, tops, or even blankets using this stitch. And in this tutorial I'm going to show you the stitch counts and how exactly to go about everything. So stay put and let's see how to make this beauty. So this stitch is worked using contrasting colors. The yarns that you pick should be contrasting, and I'm picking the mustard color and the tan, okay? And I will be using a 3.0 millimeter crochet hook. The yarn that I'm using is Winter King. It's 100% acrylic and it's a size medium. Now to begin, the stitch requires a multiple of 10 plus 2. So I'm going to chain a total of 40 and then add 2 stitches. To begin my work, we need to do a slip knot, and this is how I form my slip knot, like so. And then I am going to chain 40. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll continue until I have 40 plus 2 stitches. So I'm done chaining my 42 and we want to start the next row. And to do this, we are going to go into the second stitch from the hook. So this is 1 and 2, and work a single crochet. So insert your hook in here, yarn over, pull through, and then you will yarn over and pull through them both, okay? And once you have that one, we are going to be working the same, just single crochets until we get to the end of the row. So by the end of this, you should have a total number of 41 stitches because we used 1 as our turning chain, okay? So I'm going to work the single crochets until I get to the end of the row. So this is what you should be having at the end of this row. And now we are ready to bring in the next color. My next color is tan, and we are not going to cut the current yarn, okay? We will just carry it forward to the next rows, but we're not cutting it. So you will attach the yarn right here. And now you're ready to do the next row. You will yarn over and pull through to chain 1 and then turn your work. And to begin now, you are going to go into this first stitch and do a single crochet. So this really does not count as a stitch, but it's important that it's there. So we continue and work. The next stitch is going to be a single crochet as well. And now we are going to work a half double crochet, and to do so, you yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. You have 3 on your hook, yarn over and pull through them all like that. So we worked a single crochet and then a single crochet, and now we've worked a half double crochet. The next 5 stitches are going to take double crochets. So you yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. You have 1, 2, 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, that is 1. Yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, you have 3, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, that is 2. And then I work the third, and then I work the 4th and the 5th. Okay, so you can see the stitches are being worked in an ascending order. We had 2 single crochets and then a half double crochet, and then these 5 are double crochets. And once you're done with that, you are going to yarn over and do a half double crochet. Now we are descending, and then you do a single crochet and then chain one. Okay, the reason I said this first stitch does not really count is because we needed 9 stitches. This is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and then the 10th is the chain one. We skip 1 stitch and then go into the next with a single crochet followed by a half double crochet, and then followed by 5 double crochets. So 1 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, once you have the 5 double crochets, you now descend and work a half double crochet and then a single crochet, and then chain 1 and skip 1 stitch, go into the next with a single crochet, and then we do a half double crochet, and then we do what? 5 double crochets. Good. So 1 2 3 4 and 5. Once you have your 5 double crochets, you yarn over, go into the next stitch and work a half double crochet, and then work a single crochet, and then chain 1, skip 1, and now you can continue with the sequence where we're having single crochet, half double crochet, 5 double crochets, and then half double crochet, single crochet, chain 1. No, but at the end we won't chain 1, rather. So we are skipping 1 stitch here and then going into the next with a single crochet, a half double crochet, a double crochet, and the next stitch is going to get a double crochet and then another double crochet. How many are those? 1 2 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then the next stitch is gonna be a half double crochet, and then we have a single crochet. And remember, when we were starting, we had an extra stitch here, which was a single crochet. You also include it at the end. Okay, so this is what we are having. You can see our stitches are forming some sort of a wave. Okay, this is because of the height difference of the stitches. Now to do the next row, you are going to chain 1 and then turn your work. And now where there is that single crochet, you place a single crochet. The next stitch has a single crochet, you place a single crochet. The next stitch is having a half double crochet. Okay, you place a half double crochet. Really, it's just the sequence of that stitch. And now you're ready to do your 5 double crochets. So on top of each and every double crochet, you place a double crochet. 1 2 3 4 and 5. And once you have those, you are now ready to do your half double crochet, because we are now descending, and then we do a single crochet. Where there's a chain 1, we will also chain 1 and skip it and go into the next stitch, which requires a single crochet and then a half double crochet. And now we are getting ready to start working the double crochet. So you yarn over, go into the next stitch with a double crochet, 2 3 4, and the last one, the 5th one. Okay, and then we are ready to do a half double crochet, and then we do a single crochet, we chain 1, we skip 1, go into the next and do a single crochet, and then a half double crochet, and then we are ready to do the 5 double crochets. So 1 2 3 4 and 5, and then we do a half double crochet, and then we do a single crochet, and then chain 1, go into the next and do the same. Okay, I will meet you towards the end of the row. Now once you have those 5 double crochets in, we are going to do a half double crochet and then single crochet, and that last stitch also needs a single crochet. So we are now ready to start the next color, and this is how to do it. I told you not to cut the yarn because we'll just be carrying it forward to this level. Okay, so you will just yarn over and chain 1 like that, and then turn your work. Make sure they are tight, okay, right here, and then you can chain 1 and turn your work. And now we are ready to start the spike row, and at this point we are going to place a single crochet in this first stitch, another single crochet in the next stitch, and we'll work single crochets until we get to the part where we had a chain 1. Another single crochet and the very last single crochet right here. So let's count and see how many single crochets are here. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Remember, this first one really does not count as a stitch, but it's important that it's there. So to continue, we are going to work the spike stitch, which is otherwise known as the long double crochet. So you will yarn over and then insert your hook 2 rows down. So not this one, not this one, but the row that had mustard. That is where we're inserting our hook, and then yarning over, and make sure to regulate your tension so that the stitch is not too tight or too loose. It should be the same tension as the work you're having. So after you have this, you will yarn over and pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through the remaining 2. So we have just worked our first spike stitch, which is a long double crochet. And now once you have that, you will go into the single crochet and work a single crochet. On top of the half double crochet, work a single crochet, and continue working these single crochets until you get to where we need to work our spike stitch. And at this point, let us count and see how many single crochets do we have here. So after our spike stitch, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. This is because the spike stitch happens to be the 10th stitch. Okay, so you will yarn over and insert your hook 3 rows down into that single crochet, and then you will bring up your hook and regulate your tension, and then you can work a double crochet and then continue working the single crochets. Okay, so remember, here we are going to place 9 single crochets. All right, so as soon as you complete those single crochets, you're ready to work your spike stitch, and you just yarn over, insert your hook 3 rows down like that, yarn over, pull through, and then now you're ready to work a double crochet, and then you can continue working the single crochets. So let us count as we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this will call for a 10th stitch, because remember, our stitch is is a multiple of 10. Okay, so this is what we have. We have successfully worked these pockets, and we are ready to work the next pockets. Okay, so let us complete it finally, and we will chain 1, turn our work and continue working single crochets in each and every row. So remember, when we were starting, we started with how many single crochets? We started with 41. So at the end of this row, you should have a total of 41 stitches. 41, right? This is sort of like forming our foundation for the next row, which is important. So we will continue working those single crochets on top of each and every stitch, including on top of those spikes. It also has to get a single crochet, and at the end of the row you should have 41 stitches, just as you had them when we were starting our work. So this is what you should be having. So that second single crochet row sort of gives it a straight finish. Okay, so this is what we are having at the moment, and we are ready to work the next pocket. And to do this, we are going, these are what I'm calling pockets. Okay, pockets. So to do this, we are going to bring this yarn forth and chain it here, and we're going to chain 2 to start the next row. And at this point, the chain 2 does count as a stitch, and we will not place our first stitch in this very first stitch over here. We will go into the second stitch. This is because we are going to be working double crochets, because we want to offset these spikes to be in the middle of the previous pocket, so that, you know, they appear beautiful. And this is how to go about it. So once you have that chain 2, you're going to yarn over and go into the next stitch and work a double crochet. So this counts as a stitch, so 1, 2, and the next one is going to be also a double crochet. And once you have the 3 double crochets, we are ready to start descending. So you will work a half double crochet. Okay, and then you work a single crochet, chain 1 and skip 1 single crochet and go into the next with a single crochet. So right here where we are skipping is where our spike will be, but let's continue and see how the stitches follow each other. So once you have your single crochet, you yarn over and do a half double crochet into the next stitch, and then 5 double crochets in the following 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And once you have your 5, you will now yarn over and do a half double crochet, and then do a single crochet, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, go into the next with a single crochet, and then we do a half double crochet, and then we do a double crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Once you have that, you're ready to do a half double crochet. Now we are descending. Okay, and then do a single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, go into the next like that, yarn over, go into the next with a single crochet, and then now you're ready to work a half double crochet and then work 5 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, and the last one 5. Once you have the 5, you're ready to do a half double crochet and then a single crochet, and then chain 1, skip 1, go into the next with that single crochet, and then we are ready to work a half double crochet, and then we will complete our work with 1, 2, 3, 2, and the last one should be a double crochet like that. Okay, so we started our work with 3 double crochets and we have ended it with 3 double crochets. Okay, and to do the next row, this is what we're going to do. We will chain 2, turn our work. The chain 2 does count as a stitch, and then you yarn over, go in on top of the next stitch and work a double crochet, and then the third will be a double crochet. Okay, and then once you're done with the double crochets, you can work a single crochet and then a single crochet, chain 1, skip the chain 1 from the previous row, go into the next with a single crochet, and then yarn over and do a half double crochet, and you're ready for the double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one right there, and then we are ready to work a half double crochet, and then you work a single crochet in the next, chain 1, skip 1, go into the next and work the same. So single crochet, half double crochet, a double crochet, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then what you do is you go into the next and work a half double crochet and then a single crochet, chain 1. You see this, we have formed a weave and another and a half a weave. Okay, so this is what we're having, and I'm going to complete the row and we'll meet once I'm here. Okay, so this last part I have already worked my first single crochet, and then I'm going to do a half double crochet, and then we are placing a double crochet on top of those double crochets. So 1, make sure there are 3, the second one will be on top here, and then the very last one is on top of that chain stitch, and this is what we have at this point. Now I'm going to grab my mustard color, and that is what we are going to use to work a row like this, the spikes row, and then the next single crochet row. So to do this, you will carry forward the yarn like that, and then make sure they're both tight enough, the right tension. Okay, then once you have that, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. Remember, we are starting to work single crochets, so you will place the first single crochet here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the last one inside that single crochet right there, and then we are ready to work our spike stitch. So to do a spike stitch, you will yarn over, insert your hook in how many rows? 1, 2, 3 rows down in that single crochet we had left right there, and then yarn over, pull through, regulate your tension, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and we are ready to continue with our pattern. So single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the 10th stitch is going to be the spike stitch. So you yarn over, insert your hook right there, yarn over, pull through, regulate your tension, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then you're ready to continue. So 1 single crochet in each and every stitch until you have 9 of them, and the 10th stitch will be the spike stitch. And then we do our spike stitch. So you yarn over, insert your hook 3 rows down, then regulate your tension and do a double crochet, And then let's continue working the single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the ninth stitch right here. Then you yarn over and start your hook down 3 rows down, regulate your tension and do a double crochet and continue working. So you will have 5 stitches here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the last one 5. Okay, so the next row is going to be a row of single crochets to try even the edge. Okay, so you will chain 1 and then turn your work and start working the single crochets from that first stitch, and you're going to work 1 single crochet on top of each and every stitch from the previous row. These are pretty, and it's even prettier when you choose exciting colors. I can imagine if you have multiple colors in the pockets and then you have like one nice color to do your borders. That would be so beautiful. So I'm going to continue working the single crochets of camera, and I'll meet you once we're done. I completed my row and this is what we have. Okay, so you can imagine if you are working a bigger project like a blanket or a sweater or a cardigan, you will just carry forward the yarns as you go and alternate between these two and make a wider project. Remember, the stitch count is 10 plus 2 stitches, and once you have that, the possibilities are endless. You can mix colors, you can do just 2 colors and do some fantastic work with this stitch. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Marion. If you haven't watched the tutorial that I used this stitch, I will leave the links in the description down below, and then you can go watch those tutorials and enjoy. Thank you so much for being here. Subscribe to my channel.